This season, the Lakers made the most monumental trade in the league's history. And now, Luka and the Lakers are set to face off against the 6-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves. So, who will win? Welcome to our playoff preview, where we're going to go over every single first-round series and tell you who we think is going to win. This season, the Lakers have had a mostly successful season. Yes, it's been up and down at times, but under first-year head coach J.J. Redick, the Lakers won 50 games for the first time since they won the championship in 2020. For the Timberwolves, it's been more of a transition year from the wildly successful season they had last year, making the conference finals. They traded Cat in the offseason, and in last video we talked about the Knicks, who now have Cat, and it's been interesting. It's been a transition for sure. And I understand why they did it, because they want to cut payroll. But how does it affect their on-court play? In the regular season, these two teams faced off 4 times, and they split the season series. But we know the Lakers season completely shifted once they traded for Luka. And in the only game Luka played against the Timberwolves as a Laker, the Lakers won 111-102. So, what are the keys to this playoff series? The first key to the series is, will Rudy Gobert get targeted in the same way that he got targeted by Luka in last year's Western Conference Finals? We all remember what happened in that series. Luka made Rudy Gobert look basically unplayable, and Luka's Mavs beat the T-Wolves in 5, making the NBA Finals. And obviously we know they traded Luka after that, but that doesn't matter right now. What Luka did in that series was any time Rudy Gobert switched onto Luka, it was barbecue chicken every single time. And if that happens again, there's no way the Timberwolves can overcome that. The second key to the series is, what will prevail, analytics or the superstar talent that the Lakers have? We all know that the Lakers have the 2 best players in this series between Luka and LeBron. With that being said, the analytics will tell you the Timberwolves should win this series. The T-Wolves are 4th in net rating, and they're incredible from behind the arc. They're top 5 in both 3-point percentage and threes made. And that makes for an incredible analytic team. But we know this series might not come down to analytics. It might come down to just who is the better players. Based off the Timberwolves net rating, they should be around a 53-win team, while the Lakers, based off their net rating, should be a 44-win team. So, in reality, this shouldn't be the 3-6 matchup, but the Lakers being the home team. It should be the T-Wolves as the 2 seed and the Lakers being in the play-in. I will say this, though. The Timberwolves are definitely benefited by beating on bad teams, as they're under 500 against teams with an over 500 win percentage. The Lakers are positive, so that's a huge bump to what you think the Lakers could be in this series. The final key to this series is, will the Lakers get any type of production from anyone who's not in their big 3? And also outside of Ruby too, because Ruby's a solid contributor, so I don't really worry about him. But outside of that, who are you asking to score? Is it a rookie in Dalton Connect? I hope not. Is it Jackson Hayes, who hasn't really shown anything? He's the only big man on this roster. Maybe Dorian Finney-Smith can have a good playoff series, but we're going to need one of those guys to step up and have a good series. It doesn't have to be a great series. And Rui. If Rui and then one of those guys have a really good series, there's no chance for the Timberwolves. So let's go over the roster comparison. And as you see, the front court, the bench, obviously goes to the Timberwolves. And Anthony Edwards is obviously better than Austin Reeves. But that might not matter, because Luka and LeBron are so severely better than Mike Conley and Jaden McDaniels, respectively. And that's where the series could be made, right there. LeBron and Luka. And I'm going to keep pushing to that. Those two are going to be the ones who win this series for the Lakers, or the rest of the roster isn't going to show up and the Timberwolves are going to win. And then when you get to the coaching battle, it's really close between JJ Redick and Chris Finch. I gave it a push. You could lean either way. You could lean the experience that Chris Finch has, or you could believe in what JJ Redick has shown so far. And that's why I wanted to go JJ, but I just feel like you have to respect Finch's experience. So I'm going to give it overall a net push. But with that being said, the Timberwolves clearly have the best overall roster in the series. But the Lakers have LeBron and Luka, which I won't stop pushing. So then, who are the X factors in this series? And let's start with the Lakers. And you won't be surprised who I have first. The biggest X factor in this series is Luka Doncic. If he has a dominant playoff run, which Luka is known to be able to do, this series is over. And I can't stop pushing that point. This series is over if Luka and LeBron have an incredible series. And I just really can't get out of my head what happened last year in the Western Conference Finals. Luka absolutely torched Rudy Gobert, and I just don't see how he doesn't do it again. I don't know how this Timberwolves team adjusts that. Maybe it's Rudy Gobert doesn't play, and if he gets switched on to him too many times, yeah, get your ass on the bench. And that's the thing. Like JJ Redick has said in a press conference, if you play drop coverage against Luka, you're going to die. And that's what Rudy Gobert loves to do, is play drop coverage. And he needs to do something else in this series if they're going to have a chance. The final X factor for the Lakers is Jackson Hayes. If Jackson Hayes can play competent big man minutes, that's a huge success for the Lakers. Because if the Timberwolves want to run two big men with Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert, it's going to force Jackson Hayes on the court. And if he's not playing well, the Timberwolves can take a big advantage into that. And like I keep mentioning, the first X factor for the Timberwolves is Rudy Gobert. If Rudy Gobert plays drop coverage all series, this series is over. It's simple as that. And I really want to see the Timberwolves go two bigs, and I want to see Rudy Gobert be aggressive against Jackson Hayes, or if they go small ball, be aggressive against Dorian Finney-Smith or Rui Hachimura. Either or, I want to see Rudy Gobert be more demanding of the ball. And he's never really done that in his career, and that's what scares me. Because that's a matchup where you could exploit with the Lakers going small ball. I just don't know if Rudy Gobert has that in him. The next Timberwolf X factor is Julius Randle. Well, yeah, Julius Randle is having a down statistical season, and his on-off numbers paint a picture of him being a net negative for the Timberwolves. That hasn't been the case when he actually does play. When he plays, the Timberwolves have a 63.7 win percentage, and that's because of Randle's passing ability. That is a huge value to the Timberwolves because they really needed that playmaker, and they showed it last year. And now Mike Conley's getting older. Ant's taken strides into becoming a better playmaker. But Julius Randle is probably the best playmaker on this team outside of Mike Conley. And that's what's been really valuable with him on the court is his playmaking. He's actually the leading Timberwolf in assists per game. And that's where he's been really valuable, is his playmaking. So I could see Julius Randle really dictating this series because he's been known as a guy who shrinks come playoff time. He's really going to need to have a good series if the Timberwolves want to win. So before I get into who I think is going to win this series, I just want to talk about a few players I haven't talked about much. First, Anthony Edwards. Haven't talked about him much. He's obviously a killer. He's obviously amazing. And I think he's going to score a lot. He's going to attack whoever the Lakers put in the paint. And he's going to get downhill and score a lot in transition. And he's probably going to average like 33 points in the series. Like something like that. He's going to average at least 30 points per game. I don't know if he's a huge X factor to this series. Mostly because I don't know if I fully trust the guys around him. I trust Ant to put up 30 points a game. I just want to see if Timberwolves' other guys can match up with the Lakers. And that's the same that goes for LeBron. I know he's going to put up roughly 25, 27 points, 7 boards, 7 assists. Like, that's what LeBron does. I think it's more interesting to talk about the ceiling versus the floor with Luka, who could either win the series for the Lakers or he could have a bad shooting series and be a detriment to the Lakers. I think it's more like he plays good, but for LeBron, I know he's going to play good. I don't know if he'll play amazing, but he's going to play really, really good. And that's what LeBron is at this point. He's a really consistent player. The final Timberwolf I want to talk about is Naz Reid. And I really think Naz Reid has a huge role in this series because there's a lot of value in having two good big men. And especially against a team who has no good big men like the Lakers, if Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert play together, it's going to force Jackson Hayes to be on the court. And that's a net negative for the Lakers if Jackson Hayes is on the court. The final guy I want to talk about is Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves is clearly an impactful player for this Lakers team. He's shown so much growth this year. I'm a little worried with the matchup with the Timberwolves. They just have a lot of good wing defenders like Jaden McDaniels, like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and it scares me a little bit for Austin Reaves. But if he can contribute at the level he's contributed this season, I think the Lakers are going to be really, really likely to win this series. So what do I actually think will happen? And I think it's been pretty clear in this video. I've been more pro-Lakers. I think the Lakers are going to win in 5. I think a lot of people are going to take the Timberwolves because analytically they're good. And that's 100% true. They're way better analytically. I just can't see a world where LeBron and Luka lose to this Timberwolves team. It's just too hard for me to say that will happen, despite the analytics telling me the Timberwolves are going to win this series. It's more of a gut pick for me. And I understand 5 games might sound short, but if I think that Luka and LeBron are going to have the series that I think they will have, this series is going to be 5 games. Alright guys, that's it for today. If you enjoyed today's video, just know there'll be more playoff previews the rest of this week. We're going to try and go through every single playoff series in the first round. And then on Saturday, we're going to end off with our full playoff predictions.